The giant John Middleton hailed from the village of Hale in Merseyside and was ironically known as the Child of Hale. Born in 1578, John stood at 9 feet 3 inches tall. This was confirmed after his bones were exhumed from the churchyard in Hale and measured during the Victorian era. John was so tall that he slept with his feet hanging out of the window of his cottage. A farmer by trade, John Middleton became famed for his mighty hands and brute strength. The Sheriff of Lancashire, Gilbert Island, hired Giant John as a bodyguard, and it was through the Sheriff that John was brought to the court of King James I. Already reigning as James VI of Scotland, King James became James I of England and Ireland, reigning for 22 years at the beginning of the 17th century. Succeeding the childless Elizabeth Tudor as the first monarch of the Stuart dynasty, James' father, Charles I. An experienced ruler after the Scottish model of lairds, James quickly found himself at loggerheads with the English middle class and the emergingly forceful Parliament. Somewhat of a peacemaker, James ruled at a time of war and conflict between Protestants and Catholics across Europe. However, his conflict with Parliament sowed the seeds of disquiet that led to the English Revolution, as James was a monarchical absolutist and proponent of the divine right of kings to rule their subjects. It was in the year 1617 that John beat the king's champion in wrestling, and in doing so broke the man's thumb. He received £20 for the victory, a large amount of money at the time. Embarrassed by the defeat of his champion and displeased with the amount of money lost betting on the match, James sent the child home. But on the road home, his companions stole the money from him, either by force or by skullduggery. Giant John died impoverished in 1623 and is buried in St Mary's Church in the village of Hale. Brasenose College, Oxford possessed 2 life-size representations of his hands and a portrait of the Child of Hale.